What would you do if you're working every single day, working all the way to 10 p.m. and working on a Sunday to complete a $20,000 job, and the customer decides not to pay you?
Yep,
and that's
me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Ladies and gentlemen, this past few weeks has been a little bit rough. I spent a couple thousands on labor, $5,000 in material. No, actually $8,000 in material. Point is, why $20,000 is because one, this guy has 4 attics. It's a 4,000 square foot home. I'm removing insulation, blowing new insulation, and which is a new service that I'm pretty much adding radiant barriers into your attic, which reduces a lot in your electricity bill, right, for the homeowners. And something I didn't even know until the homeowner pointed it out is that you can get this refunded by the IRS. Like, I'll put the screenshot right there if you do radiant barriers in your attic. So it's such a good sales tactic. The day comes for an installation job. He is interested. He didn't know I did insulation, so he wanted to remove all the old contaminated insulation and blow in new insulation. And he asked me, "Do you do radiant barriers?" And I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to try it. Sometimes you got to look like a clown at first in order to be a master at the end. And I'll post that quote right here on the screen. It says it better. And that's what I did. I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to risk it. I'm willing to try radiant barriers. He asked me, "Do you do it?" And I'm like, you know what? We already removed the old insulation. We might as well apply radiant barriers. Long story short, he did the down payment and he saw that I didn't use all my insulation bags, right? I bought 93 bags because it's a 4,000 square foot home, 4 attics. That's what they told me. You need 93 bags. But I only ended up using 50. Customer didn't like that. He started tripping and yeah, I didn't get paid. Yeah, I got the cops involved. You're going to win and there's times you're going to lose. Yes, I was winning. You know, I bought my 4th truck. I bought my mom a car. You know, what else could go wrong?
Until
I didn't get a contract signed. But people said that I still have a winning case because he still agreed through email. I still have, evidence that he agreed for a home service. But the reason I didn't sign a contract with him is because, he's a returning customer. He's already bought 3 different services from me. So I'm like, you know what? I didn't think of it too much. But this guy turned on me, whole 180, when he saw I didn't use all the bags. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I want y'all to learn from my mistakes. 2 things is definitely always clarify is a fixed sales price and it's not a cost like per unit price. And I'm like, yo, it's my fixed price. Like, I'm not going to give you a discount just because I use 50 bags. If you had to buy more material or less material, it's on you. Like, you don't have to put it on the homeowner and like, hey, I have to buy more material, I have to increase your price. Like, no, it's a fixed price. So that's something I messed up. I didn't clarify on the contract. 1, I didn't clarify that on the contract. And 2, I didn't get the contract signed. I'm being very authentic because like I look stupid sharing this. I look stupid every time someone asks me, like I tell them about the situation. They ask me, did you make them sign the contract? I'm like, no, I didn't. So guys, that customer can drive a Lamborghini, a Porsche, has bought many services for me. He can be a very confidential customer, but don't end up like me where you get so confident and so comfortable to the point that you don't have to sign contracts. So please do it. The reason I'm doing all these videos because I'm documenting my journey. I want you to learn from my glory and I want you to learn from my failures. And this one is a big failure that I want you to learn. Sign contract and make sure you always clarify it's a fixed price, not a cost per unit. Like, no, it's a fixed price. Don't tell me, hey, like, give me a discount. Yeah, I know that's not what we're going to be talking about today, right? I didn't want to do any like cool intro because I'm already taking a lot of time. So I'm going to go over 3 things, a little bit about my sales presentation, a little bit of sales tactic in there, like what I learned from my salesman that he strictly does, which is a good friend of mine. He strictly does door knocking for a living. 2, how much to pay your door salespeople, your salesmen. That's something I made a lot of research. I was like networking with other pest control owners and the actual pest control owners that have a whole door-to-door salespeople out there. And 3, my results, because that's important. Some of you are going to look into this. So I had 5 people out there door knocking for me. 2 of them had Mondays off. They already had a summer job. One of them is a college kid and the other one is like an old friend of mine from college. They had their Mondays off. So I was like, hey, you know what? We're all door knocking on Mondays, right? So I told my whole team, every Monday we're door knocking. So I have these two. Then my third one is my new technician. My fourth one is my other technician, which is my brother. And then the fifth one is like my youngest brother, which is he's 13 to 14. So if you have a young brother like that age, or even a son, they have that innocence advantage. They have that halo effect. So take advantage if you have a young brother or even a son or daughter. Proceeding. Common objections. These are the most common objections. And then we had like a counterattack. How to counterattack, I might have to do another video on just specifically on sales, because I want my salesperson to talk on this. Like, this is not my expertise. I am good with selling when it comes to termites or rodents. I'm amazing when it comes to selling termites or rodents, right? Because I'm already inside the house. Like, I'm a master. When I say I'm a master, I'm talking about like I'm visualizing the whole room, because I'm not just there to sell a rat or a freaking termite service. I'm there to make a connection. So my first thing, like a little random tip, is I go and I try to look at the fridge and I'm like, oh, you went to Costa Rica? Me too. I went to Costa Rica too. What did you like about it? Like I was just there last year. So I can connect with them and come off as a friend and not a salesperson. But when it came to pest control, I realized I'm not even a good door knocking pest control expert. I told them what does it include. I was telling them the two new folks, or they didn't really knew anything about pest control. So I told them, hey, this is what we do, just in case they ask. And then you got to tell them, as obviously. I had them door knocking for a bi-monthly plan, right? But the reason I was pushing bi-monthly is, one, is more consistent income coming in, and two, customers always cancel after like 6 months. So I might as well get three services out of them than just two when it comes to quarterly. All right. So this was the sales commission program. And this is where the research I made with other pest control owners that actually have a door to sales, like a D2D sales team out there. It's they had them either on full commission, which is 25%. So you make sure, this is good. This is very crucial. So they'll get 25% of the contract value on after the initial service. After the second service, they'll get the other 25% of the contract value. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. In other words, they're getting 50% of the contract value, and the way it is laid out is perfect. It's like bulletproof for a business that is starting. Or you don't want to give them 50% right away, and what if they cancel after the first treatment? You're going to take a hit. So I really like their tactic. When I was like interviewing other pest control owners, they were telling me, hey, I give them 25% after the initial, and then the other 25% after the second service. And I'm like, oh, that's genius. So that was full commission. And then of course there's the hourly plus small commission. They decided to choose that path. I told them, hey, you can be on full commission, or you can be hourly plus small commission. And they all chose hourly plus small commission. I was paying them $10 an hour plus 25 commission. I feel like I should have raised it up a little bit more on the hourly rate, but at the same time I didn't, because I wanted them to be really hungry on closing deals, and they weren't, like the first two guys that I mentioned. And the reason they weren't that hungry is because they already had a summer job. They were only free on Mondays, and so they were looking for like a small extra gig. Something I learned, if I'm going to do this again, I want to have an actual office, because I was training them at my apartment complex. So I want to have an actual office where they're reporting to me on a daily basis and not just once a week type thing. So they weren't that hungry. Obviously, the results weren't there. Now, the results. So my new tech, actually, he ended up getting eight new customers. My younger brother got me one. A college kid that I mentioned got me one too, but it fell off because we didn't close it right away. We had her waiting for like 3 days for us to be out there to spray. It got complicated with our schedule, and she just lost interest. And then the other guy didn't really close. He didn't really get anything. He didn't get really any luck. So when it comes to door to door, you got to have people that are full-time just door knocking. Results weren't that good and weren't the best because, like I said, we were only door knocking once a week. If I ever get a sales team out there, like I want to have an established office. 2, now I know what to pay them, and 3, now I know what I'm looking for when it comes to like hiring a door-to-door sales team out there. And another thing is, here in where I'm at is very saturated to the point where whenever we were door knocking, one customer or this homeowner came out saying, "You're the 6th pest control company that comes and door knock. So what does that say? Yes, it's kind of a saturated market. It's a little bit tough. So you got to have like very, very talented door knockers knocking out there for you. Where can you find these people? There is D2D agencies out there, but they're expensive because they require like 80 to 90% contract value. And for a business like me that is just kind of starting up, just 4 years deep, it's not beneficial for me at the moment. Now that I got a taste, now I know how to train them. Now I know how to pay them, which is very important. And 3, now I know kind of like the results that I'm going to be getting. So I don't have to put too much high expectations, but expectations to the point where they can at least meet some goals where they can stay comfortable and my business is still growing at the same time. Anyways, that was a quick update of my life and a good summary of how my summer went with my first time having like a small door-to-door sales team and door knocking out there for me. Hope to see you on the next video because it is Arlington with Aviator Pest Control where we fly and bugs die. Hope to see y'all next time.
Do not be afraid to talk to yourself in the mirror. Whenever I was doing sales competitions, I was doing maybe 30 role plays a day for 15 minutes. So it was like a very long process. Whenever I was a senior partner, I had to learn a 2-hour pitch word for word, and you had to test it out in front of 10 individuals that were partners at the company I was with. And so whenever it comes to pitch practice, it's gonna feel very foreign and annoying because you're just literally talking word for word over and over and over again. But it's gonna help you so much at the door because that's gonna be second nature. You don't wanna be standing there thinking about stuff. You wanna make sure you get it to where it's normal, conversational. Role play as much as you can with one another. Sometimes I would do whenever before I would go out and knock for the day, I would do what we're about to do just over the phone. I would have somebody on the other side, act like they're a homeowner, and I would just call them. So I already have warm-up reps before I even knock a door. So I'm not like fucking having to warm myself up.
Well, here's my business card, and then just in case, you just hit me up, and then we'll be there real soon.
All right, thanks.
Something like that, or maybe I should say like we're here for 2 days. Like you mentioned earlier.
We're here to answer any questions you have.
First, I'm gonna say, hey, how you doing? No.
Wait for an answer.
Wait for an answer.
If
No,
not,
you just steamrolled right there. That's
as
why.
soon as they open the door, hello, I'm with Aviator. How are you?
Another
Let's see
thing,
that
the
works.
tone in your voice plays a large part in this. So don't be loud. Talk slow and talk quietly. That way, because people will be more engaged with you when you're talking slower and quieter. It forces them to pay attention. And a lot of the times, if you do that and you lead off with, how are you doing? You'll have a whole full-blown conversation earning these people's trust before you even talk about something.